crazy that they keep on treating these brothers behind their back, whatever or not. I'm like, dang, it's some crazy stuff. Bro, anyway, so, yeah, I don't even know why they did that, but they just, like, keep on doing this to brothers. Real though, I mean, like, that's messed up. Real though. Anyway, yeah, I mean, like, it's just gonna keep on going on, going on, and going on. I mean, like, that shit, it's not gonna, like, stop. Real though. I'm like, shit. And, like, it's like this, like, lady up in Home Depot, like, got caught, like, giving away, like, shit that she was supposed to give out or nothing like that. And, like, a lot of stuff got, like, taken out or whatever, whatnot. Real though. I mean, like, shit, it was, like, worth, like, it was a lot of materials worth, like, a lot of money. Like, 5,007 into, oh my goodness, $5,702, like, worth of shit. Real though, and that shit was crazy as hell. I'm telling you, like, damn. Real though. I mean, like, she got terminated and she got arrested. Real though. I mean, like, that shit was crazy as hell. I'm like, hell, shit. But, yeah, she didn't get empty or nothing like that because she was corroborating or whatever or not. Real though. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, like, shit was, like, crazy as hell. Real though. Anyway, so I was like, damn. She said, like, the one person that she was, like, giving that shit to, she didn't even know the, like, employee, whatever. She claimed to be a diabetic, although she had, like, soda up in her hand. It was full of sugar. Oh my goodness, I can't read this shit up. But anyway, that's what's the point now. Yeah, some, like, crazy shit or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, I'm like, I'm going, like, representing, party that's not trying to fuck up my community. That's trying to, like, protect me, you know what I'm saying? Protect the community and all that shit, for real though. I'm not, like, backing off from that, and that's all, bro. For real though. Anyway, shit, I mean, like, hell, I'ma just continue on doing my thing, or whatever, whatnot. I'm not, like, playing games or nothing like that. Serious as hell. I mean, like, if I was, like, on that bullshit, then, that'd be crazy as hell. If I was. But, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not backing off, man. I'm not doing that shit. I'm like, let's get to it, you know what I'm saying? For real though. I'm gonna get active, but I'm gonna get active in a positive way. For real though, and that's on bro. Anyway, so yeah. Now, it is, so, like, what I'm saying? It was this cop, and he was up there just, like, just talking about, like, like, book some shit or whatever, and he was on this racist rant, got caught on this, like, body cam, saying this shit or whatever, whatnot, and they, like, let his ass go. Shit, because why? It was caught on the body cam talking that shit or whatever, whatnot. Real though, anyway. So, yeah, they was doing a whole bunch of, like, triple slips and stuff like that because they wanted to, like, mess with people, and by saying that tail lights was out and shit like that, or they had talk about their, like, plates or whatever, whatnot, on their cars or whatever. Real though, I mean, that shit, and, like, shit didn't get interviewed or nothing like that. They just had a conversation with, like, multiple individuals, you know what I'm saying, different race or whatever, you know what I mean? For real though. Anyway, that shit was, like, And, well, it wasn't like, bad or nothing like that, but shit, they just stopping them for, like, whatever reason you can stop them for or whatever, whatnot. So be careful out there if y'all driving. For real, because, I don't know, I think that shit is something else or whatever. Anyway, shit, now, this brother, like, went out and he had that, like, shooting spree with the, like, cops and broad daylight, but he was shooting at everybody. He wasn't playing no games. For real though. I don't know what set this brother off or whatever, whatnot. Know what I'm saying? For real though. Anyway, so this dude, like, Ashley just like was like, fuck it, he just like shot it and like, started shooting at everybody or whatever, whatnot. For real though. And they not like, looking at the fact that this brother was going through some shit or whatever, whatnot. And they don't even look at the, like, look at it like that. But if it was like somebody else or whatever, whatnot, that wasn't a brother, they like be looking at it like, oh, he had he was going through a mental health crisis. And you know what I'm saying? For real though, I mean that shit. Like, hell, that's crazy as hell. Like, trying to stab a cop, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, years ago or whatever, whatnot. And they still let him out on the street or whatever, whatnot. And then he started, like, shooting, like, had this big ass, like, gun or whatever. Started shooting at everybody or whatever. They, like, actually shot him down, but he's still living. For real though. They shot at his arms and his legs. That's about it. For real though. Anyway, shit, it would have been, like, tragic if they would have, like, went any further. For real though, I'm telling you. And that's on, bro. For real though. Anyway, so, yeah, it was some crazy shit. For real though. I mean, like, shit. And, like, these, like, motherfucking conservatives is trying to, like, saying, actually fuck about a whole bunch of shit. Like, they try to bring segregation back and all that shit. For real though, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's some crazy shit. For real though, I'm like, damn. For real, and they dumb as fuck. Because they don't know what the fuck DEI represents. You know what I'm saying? For real though. They just like throwing out like, like it's some bullshit, like you're saying some bullshit or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, it's crazy. It's crazy as hell. And people eating that up like it's like, like they saying the right shit. Like, nah. Hell no. For real though. I mean, like shit. But, shit, that's some crazy shit. Anyway, that's beside the point. Now, I, like, actually found this, like, samurai. And he's, like, he was called the Undying Samurai. And I decapitated him. And I took his army. And for real, I'm not even capping. I'm for real, gang. I, like, actually, I'm keeping it a bug. I actually took his army. Real though. And I took a picture of it, like, what I'm saying, today. Like, right after, like, I, like, took a picture of his, like, what I'm saying, when he was laying down on the ground. Right after I, like, went after him or whatever, whatnot. For real though. I mean, like, it was, like, it wasn't, like, that hard or nothing like that. Like, with Takizo or whatever, whatnot. It was like easy as ever. But yeah, I mean, like, I actually did get through it, gang. I got through that real quick or whatever. Real though. I mean, like, I already knew I was like, cooked. I cooked a whole bunch of times. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, like 2 or 3 times ain't they go bad. For real though. I mean, like, he couldn't stop me. You can't stop me. For real though. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just like took him out and like grabbed his arm. Like, and it's like, right on my character. For real though, man. I'ma show y'all that shit. For real though, I ain't even playing. For real, and that's on bro. But anyway, like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Hit the bell on notifications so you can see my next upload and my next post. And to make sure I make it on tomorrow. And oh yeah, you can check out my previous videos if you like. Gang, so long, farewell, goodbye.